sorry, it's been so long since the last one. Haven't really been out much recently. I'm just going to show you, I'm on a new pond, fishing Emmotlands near Driffield for the first time. Just going to run you through the rig that I'm using on nearly all the rods. Some heavy silt, especially with all the leaves at the moment sinking the bottom. We're in like back end of October now, so autumn's well and truly gone. So I'm just going to show you the new rig I was using. Sort of combat the silt. And this is it here. And what I'm doing with this is just a normal quick sink braid, non-coated, so it's nice and flexible. So followed by a J-cat angling line, a liner. That's just instead of using shrink tubing to create that nice curve in the hook ring, along with the rig ring. Just finish it off there. So make these longer than your normal rigs, due to the fact then it will sink slowly through the water when it's hitting the bottom, as you use it with the snowman presentation. Instead of just using standard bottom bait, it will sink too fast. It'll just plunk into the weed and then you're not fishing effectively. The liner liners said using a standard safety leg clip. These are the liner liners here. Don't know if the camera will pick that up. Superb bit of kit, saves you from having to mess around with shrink tubing and does exactly the same job. That's just a little loop knot on the end rather than using a swivel. But the bit I use on this, I use it like a snowman presentation. Bear with me, I'll just get the boilies out, I'll pop one on for you. I'll tell you a bit more about the lake in a second after I've shown you the rig. So it's all dependent on, I like it pretty close, like that. So when that sinks, it's just going to sit right next to the hook. Normally a bit more of a gap than that. Round about there, so there's just about 5mm of play that'll just land straight up like that. Sit on the bottom, just hovering above the silt. Now sometimes the pop-ups need trimming down. If they need trimming down, just trim them down a little at a time and test them in the edge, just to make sure that it sinks nice and slowly as it's coming through the water. We don't want it to come down like this, we want it nice and slow through the water. It just lands on top of it. And I'm going to use a little PVA stick with it as well, and that just keeps everything free of debris on the bottom. So hopefully that gives you a better insight in the type of rigs that you should be using in stilt. Especially the length is very important. The longer the better in stilt. Too short and it'll just plug straight into it. In fact, using long rigs is good in many situations, because many people are just using the same size, about 12 inches, 14 inches, but will fit in a rig board. But if you're a bit different and use something a bit longer, that doesn't fit in the rig board, you're fishing different to everybody else. So that's the best way I've found to combat silt. Apart from that, you can use a hinge stiff rig. I've got that on one of the rods. I'll go into more detail with that at a later date. So far, lake I'm on's Lake 1. It's about 2 acres. Nice and small. There's around about 70 fish in here. It's about 10 of them over 30, which is quite big for this part of the country. It's, well, really big for this part of the country. There's not many places that have any 30s in Yorkshire. It's around about 70 fish. It's quite a few 20s. There's a chance of a personal best. It's getting late in the year now. The fish are starting to slow down a lot, so They're not moving around as much. I've seen a few on the far bank patrolling up and down, so that's where I put two of the rods, one on the left hand side of the swim, one on the right hand side, and then the right hand rod is just in the margins next to an overhanging bush. I've seen one roll over in the right hand corner, which is about 20 yards away from my other rod, so hopefully you got a chance tonight. That's about it for now. Like I said in the last part of the video, it's about 2 acres in size. This is like bottom of the lake in my swim. So I'm fishing. One of my baits just underneath of there, about 3.5 foot of water, and the other one's fishing between these two trees here. Around about there, about 4 foot off the bank. And the other one just down by this tree down here. So to give you an idea of how little the lake is, this is my end of the lake, and if I just walk you up this way, a couple of steps, and you can see the top end of the lake. So it's really small lake, so hopefully there's more chance of the 70 fish swimming past your baits every 5 minutes than taking one. A fish I shot earlier on, sure, was over in that corner over there, around about, I'll just zoom in for you so you can see, in that corner there, just past that, around about where that duck is there, whereas my bait's just in this part here. So hopefully there's every chance of getting a run for the night. Good morning, it's about 10 past 10. A very uneventful night last night, absolutely nothing. Had a few walks around this morning, no fish moving at all this morning. So looks like they've done the off ski. The weather could be better. Instead of overcast, foggy, keeps spitting onto rain. Absolutely lashed it down last night. It was horrible. It looks like yet another blank. Haven't caught anything since about August time. But you know, you can't expect to catch all the time, I suppose. Especially now the weather's getting colder. My first trip to the venue as well, so I don't expect much on the first trip, to be fair. You just gotta keep confident in what you're doing. There's no good chopping and changing your rigs if you think, oh, is it my rigs, is it my bait? You've just gotta keep at it with the same stuff that's worked for you before, and hope that the fish take it eventually. So just make sure you're confident in your bait you're using. Just don't give up. Stick to it. Eventually the results will come your way. It's just a matter of time. It's a heck of a lot of luck in it, I suppose. But it looks like that today. I'm going to try moving one peg down before I pack up. Try the other end of the lake. See if there's anything doing at that end, because I haven't seen anything move this morning, so my hunch is that there's nothing swimming up this end of the lake. They're all down the bottom end, so I'll give it a go down there for a bit. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.